Korea is 9 o'clock hour. Every Thursday, we have Power of Mind with Edward Hong, who is self-development expert. Edward 씨, 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요. Hello. Good morning.
Wow, you're a lot more energetic today.
Yes.
What's happening?
Well, welcome to the first Thursday of the rest of your life.
That's true. That's true. All right. So we talk about some general introduction about self-improvement. And then as a life coach, you've been helping a lot of different clients.
Yes.
And today we're going to talk about some interesting topic. What is it?
Well, summer's here. And, majority of people, I noticed the majority of people showing up in the gym more than before. And, as you know,
I thought it's a New Year's Day.
That too. But summer's coming. I noticed that this Friday is the first summer. And, I go work out in the gym. And I noticed that more of new faces showing up at the gym.
Okay.
And I see a lot of more enthusiastic people. They're coming in and they're just, maybe they want a quick result, whatnot. Because I could see that they're building the summer bodies.
Okay.
So, and I talk to a few of them sometimes, or they come and talk to me and stuff like that. And then found out that, people are eating less now, just preparing for the summer, or they are starting to watch their diets.
So bikini season.
Exactly.
Yay.
Yes.
Well,
summer's here.
Okay. So I'm guessing we're going to talk about some health and well-being and losing weight stuff.
Losing weight, yes. That's what I want to talk to you about. Hopefully this will help
Okay.
our the audience here to settle away to have a either faster weight or some kind of like a ground rules that you could follow, because this is based on how I help my clients who likes to lose weight, sometimes in a certain short of a time. Because this is one of the stories that I like to share with our audiences, so it will give you some kind of a step-by-step ground rules to lose weight for this summer.
So wait a minute. So you do have a lot of client who wants to lose weight and actually see you for help.
Exactly, yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a really broad meaning of a life coach, I guess. They help you losing weight.
Yes. Well, it's life coaching is about enhancing their life and have what they want to have and do what they want to do and be who they want to become. So category is very broad, but majorly, I help them with the finance, help them with the career, help them with the relationship, help them with the intimate relationship, and also health and fitness.
Right,
and
right.
many times a spirituality also. So this is a story from health and fitness that I've been helping my clients that actually this gentleman is I was introduced to me from entertainment industry, and he's a national celebrity, and I can't say the name for the confidentiality.
Okay.
And he was requested to lose weight in a short period of time, about 6 weeks, I think. And then we had to lose 20 to 25 pounds because they were doing another episode, and they were preparing for him to do Photoshop. And for the trail poster and whatnot. So.
Well, there's a thing called Photoshop. It's not enough, I guess.
I guess not.
Well, I mean, I'm just kidding, because if you're on the TV series or a movie, it's not only about the Photoshop. You have to show yourself on the live video.
Yes.
So you can really Photoshop frame to frame. So I guess you have to.
Well, 20 to 25 pounds is a pretty.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Good.
And 6 weeks.
6 weeks. So. Yeah, they asked me if I can help them out. So I've been doing this many years. So this case was really, there's this came out pretty successfully, I want to say. Yeah, so I want to share with our audience and give you, what I want to talk about today is that how I did it. So in other words, that there's a conscious steps that I submitted into his program, so have him lose weight on that short period of time. Obviously, there's many things behind the curtain. The mindset and strategy and psychology of our mind and all those have to be there. So those things are kind of like, I'm not touching there very much, but at least I just want the audience to know there is more than just a conscious way of losing weight. But it'll be really helpful to share. So I thought I'd bring it out this week.
Yeah, now I think about it, definitely it is a part of a power of mind, because losing weight is not only the physical thing, because you have to have a strong will to do it. And when you change your body, your mind also kind of change it too. So your mind is always kind of go with the body. So definitely more and more client, comes to Edward Hong and he say, hey, how can I look like a Mr. December in a LA Fire Department like you? And he's blushing. Yeah, but you always look fit. Have you ever been like a little bigger or out of shape or something in your life?
Obviously I did, but I didn't push it, wait until that go that far. But I'm always be aware of, I'm always practicing what I teach. I walk my talk. So I always bring myself to top of the mind of psychology and the excellence in physiology. So I always keep it in my mind that I hit the gym and make sure that, because there's stronger mind, stronger life, and stronger physics. So So I've been blessed in having that strategy and mindset for myself, and also, as being a coach, I get to be who I said I get to be. So it's been really blessing for me on that.
Yeah, you have to fit to teach other people to fit, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so what kind of a client needs your help for losing weight?
There are many different episodes. Actually, the gaining weight comes from sometimes traumatic past experience. And so they cover themselves to not to look acceptable to the society. So they tend to just binge eating and just gain weight. So they just don't like to be accepted to the society because the traumatic experiences, and those kind of, sometimes that comes up in a client, or something like this, and it's an occasional vocational the goal that you're requested to lose weight on a certain period of time, and there's kind of times that I kind of will step in and help them out to lose the weight as much as the weight they're asking to be lose.
Well, a lot of Asian girls, I can't really speak for everybody, but a lot of Asian girls, it just tend to be so skinny, so skinny. I mean, even though you have a same body type, same weight, and then when you go back to your Asian country, you just feel so big because everybody else is less than 48 kilograms. So it doesn't matter how tall you are, you just have to be very, very skinny. So there is a standard of normal weight or shape for U.S. market. Also, there is a certain different standard for, Asian country.
Yes.
Totally different. Okay, so what do you think of that? Because why Asian, mostly women, but guys too, so obsessive about losing weight and diet, and they're just not eating, in my opinion. I'm obviously not the one of them.
Well, if you want to compare here to Korea, I want to say it's a lot about different cultures and also social proof. Everybody's losing weight. I mean, I remember way back a long time ago in Korea, people want that skinny unless you don't have enough to eat or starved or things like that. So it's a social proof and the cultural thing that they like to keep themselves so skinny and thin legs and things like that. And in contrast, in America, 2/3 of the population is overweighted.
Oh, okay.
That's a scientific research. So if you average that, I'm sure we're huge, and all the proportions that the restaurants are serving, they're much bigger than Korea, and also the natural biological structure of our body is different than Asian culture, and here we are a melting pot of a different culture. So we have Europeans and all these people.
Yeah,
are much
all
bigger
this
than
different
us.
nationality.
Yeah, so average that, obviously we're bigger form in our body structures.
Yeah, because when I first came to United States from Korea, there's some of the people I know, they warned me that, yeah, you're going to gain 20 pounds in a couple years. So be
they
ready.
warned you.
Warned me many times.
Yeah.
Didn't listen. But it's a different kind of a diet, different kind of a life here. So it's a little difficult. Okay. Going back to your client that losing weight, let's talk about actually when we come back, how you actually help them.
Okay.
So step by step, so we could kind of get helped as well.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good.
So every Thursday we have a Power of Mind with Edward Hong, who is a self-development expert, and we will be right back, guys. Your first and only English station talking about K-culture, K-pop, Korean language, and Koreatown. We're broadcasting live from Koreatown, Los Angeles, which is the biggest Koreatown in the world. Every Thursday, we have Power of Mind with Edward Hong, personal development expert. We're going to talk about losing weight today. It's everybody's issue, Edward. 맞죠?
Yes.
I know. I'm kind of going back and forth Korean and English and sometimes different language. And then I kind of take advantage of opportunity. All right. So now I want to talk about how you actually help client losing weight. Could you walk me through?
Sure. Again, I want to say that there's a lot of mindset and a strategy behind it. So knowing that, I could share that when you contact me afterward. However, this is the conscious steps.
Okay.
So looking into it, but here's the thing: if you are really desire to lose weight and you're committed, and some like the client that. Story of a client that I'm going to share here, that he is like a must. That's his vocation. He was requested to lose weight. So there's no other way. That is a very good excuse.
Yeah.
Because he connected to the money. So for his lifestyle.
He get paid to lose weight.
Exactly. You know? So that if you know why, how is very easy.
Right. Okay.
Right. Okay. So let me, before we get into how the step-by-step, I want to cover a little bit basis of why the people are failing on losing weight, right? And then basically there's three different patterns. And these three different patterns are coming from the study of, actually this was created, this methodology that I'm using is actually created by studying the naturally thin people.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a study a long time ago, and it was put it as and I put meat and stuff into it for my way, and I customized for my clients. However, the steps are from modeling from the naturally thin people. So putting it based on that. So here's the three patterns why people are failing on dieting.
Okay.
So pattern number one,
yes,
is we call obsessive dieting.
Okay.
There's so many ways to diet systems out there.
Right.
And unfortunately, just few results are, accomplished. Because they're overwhelmed and they don't know which is good, which is bad, and, things like that. But the scientific research shows that 90% of people attempt to lose weight by dieting, they fail. That's the research.
90%. That's a pretty
90%.
huge number.
Yeah, and it's dieting is a very simple term. I mean, definition of diet is just control over what, where, when, and how much you eat.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very simple thing, but you can't lose weight not eating. Right? Actually, there's a starvation. They had a study about starvation. I think they did it in World War II. There's a biology researcher. I think his name is Ansel Key, and he's discovered that reducing people's diet, it will produce a symptom of like a loose endurance and obsessive behavior around food. So, which is contrast to having a desire of having food. That includes like sometimes they start lying, hoarding, and even stealing.
Right.
So you totally have them lose control.
Right.
So obsessive dieting, it's one of the things that is not working. You cannot starve yourself losing weight.
I mean, just a little addition to it, because diet in Asian dictionary, it's usually kind of a starving and a not eating. It's more like that. But in American dictionary, dieting is you eat certain food, and it's more like it, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. That's the part that I'm going to talk to you about, how that happens to make it successfully lose weight.
Okay.
Right? So again, it's all about mental, right? In the beginning. So if you lose control, you're not going to be successful in anything that you want or desire to have. Right. So, the obsessive dieting is not working. And second thing is, this is just something that, in my opinion, that is the number one cause of obesity in the world. And that's emotional eating.
Oh.
Yeah, I bet some people can relate to that.
What about emotional drinking? Same thing, I'm sure.
Yeah, same thing. It's the same thing. I mean, we do things, for the pleasure, and we do things to avoid pain. So it gives you pleasure. Yes, you'll drink. It gives you pleasure. Then you'll binge eating. Right. So it's the same kind of concept, right? This, our human being, our brain is built in the same way. Mm-hmm. So, many people, they eat because they're bored or lonely or miserable or tired.
Okay.
Or any other 100 reason of
I'm just thinking
negative emotions, right? And that is, that has nothing to do with the physical hungers. Mm-hmm. Right, that's pretty dangerous. Right. And in the world like this, we got so many embodied with so many things. You get to be pretty. There's a rule for me, HALT. If you're hungry, angry, lazy, tired, don't make any important decisions.
Well, that's important.
Yeah,
that's
important. So I call it HALT.
Okay.
It's a little secret.
Right.
Yeah,
I agree.
So, based on emotional hungers, that your body will be never satisfied by food. Mm-hmm. And then most of the times that emotional eating will not tell you when to stop eating. Right. Because you don't know if you're full, because it's a totally emotional thing. It depends on your emotion. So if emotion is not fully satisfied, you just keep on eating and eating and eating.
Mm-hmm. Well, right? I mean, it's another thing is a lot of people, it's lunchtime, let's eat. Even though they're not hungry because they have a brunch or something. It's like, well, we have to eat. So it's more kind of a habitual thing.
Exactly.
I'm not sure that is okay, a lot of cases, because you're not eating because you're hungry. You're eating because it's time.
True, but that's also the habitual thing, as you said. Right? We are what we repeatedly do. Mm-hmm. So if you eat on certain time, you're hungry. Your body will say, "Oh, I'm hungry because I gotta. This is the time." Right. So your body will adapt to it. Right. So those are the people there who's not eating on time basis, and then those are the people who says, "Oh, I'm not hungry," and that could be also an emotional too. Right. Yeah, the emotional people, they don't only binge eating, but sometimes they don't eat because they're emotionally not feel like they need to eat.
Yeah, and then they eat and
and throw up.
Yes.
There's certain actually diet system, they do that too. So I think that's it's not. To me, it's not going to work. Yeah, it's not healthy. You're miserable.
Right.
So so that's the thing. So actually, for the emotional eatings, what I actually coach my client to do is that I told him to put a big question mark on the refrigerator. And then I gave him a question. I said,
it could be anything,
yeah,
you know?
every time you walk into the refrigerator because you feel like, grabbing a snack or something like that, is that watch that question mark and says, am I really hungry or do I just want to change the way I feel?
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
That worked. That worked for my client. He says every time you walk over to the refrigerator, he look at the question mark and look at the question, and then he turned around and he said, no, I'm not really hungry. I just feel
okay. So instead of eating in that case, what should they do?
They should go read.
Or take a walk or something
maybe
else.
Take a walk or maybe do a push-up or sit-up or things like that. Something different. That's another thing. Another thing that you get to change your environment. You get to do different things.
Right.
Yeah, and so you adapt to that, then you could overcome that.
Yeah, don't visit your refrigerator too often. All right.
So the third one is that we call it faulty programming. So we're so programmed to being overweight is so bad for us, right? And it's like it's a mental programming that we've been programmed into our life that's related to the food. So we get really obsessed to that. So you don't know what to do. You're overwhelmed. But here's the thing. Just relax, because you're not crazy. You're not broken, or you're not a bad person. You're just somewhere along the line you're reprogramming to the certain society rules, which has nothing to do with your body or yourself, and you just feel like overwhelmed, and you feel like that you're not. Also give you the emotional, like negative emotions, and then you keep doing that again, and then you reprogram your mind to like losing out of control, right?
Okay.
So it's a false programming, I call. So those are the three obstacles or hindrances that people have when they try to lose weight.
Okay.
Like dieting,
Okay.
So let's go from here to, I want to give you steps before going out of time here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before you give me that, because we have to kind of listen to some of the songs and then I come back.
Okay.
And Edward Hong, our self-development expert, he wants to talk about a lot of things.
Been doing this many years.
Lot to say, definitely. Yeah. So every Thursday we have a Power of Mind with Edward Hong. If you have any questions about how he helped his client, and then questions anything about the losing weight, then he's going to answer for you. You can email him. Either Korean and English. I mean, you understand Korean, right?
Yes.
So either or, and maybe some other languages. I don't know. Ask him. Edward Hong 15 at gmail.com. Edward Hong 15 at gmail.com for more questions. You're listening to We Korea, and then we will be right back. We're back. You're listening to We Korea. I'm your host, Ginseng Baby Kelly Che, and every Thursday we have a Power of Mind with Edward Hong, who is a self-development expert. All right, Edward 씨.
Hello.
네. So we're talking about losing weight, and then you have a case of your client, how you help that client. Okay,
Yes.
Share with us, please.
Okay, so with the last session we talked about what's the hindrance of doing a diet and being fail. But so let's get into the really meat. This is 4 steps, 4 rules I give them to follow. Very easy, very simple, very fun. But if you follow this rule, to the T, I guarantee you lose weight, because I see so many results coming from here.
Okay.
Right. Again, based on that, there's a lot other behind the curtain things, that mindsets and strategies and all those things that I can help you with, that I am helping them with in point 2 actually. So like that. So number 1, let's get on to meat ingredient here. So number 1 is we call, when you're hungry, Rule number one: when you're hungry, eat.
Okay.
That's a very simple, isn't it? Right.
But when you're not hungry, don't eat. That's what it is, right?
Exactly. So that what it means is that, have you ever wondered what's inside a camel's hump?
What's in there? Gold?
Actually, the camel's hump is made out of fat, right? Because it's the fat, store fat.
Right.
Yeah. Why do you think they store fat inside?
Well, in case they can't really eat for a long time.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
I went to school. I didn't fall asleep every day.
Because these camels, they travel the desert like days and days, a month and month, right?
Yeah.
And then they just don't know when's the next time they're going to stop to get water and drink and meal and things like that. So they store fat into that.
Like a naturally, right? Yeah.
Naturally.
Yeah.
Right? So this goes with every other animal. So it's just that because they're adapt to that, to want to adapt to that environment, that's how they're creating their hump to survive, right? So human being is the same thing. If you start starving and not eating to lose weight, believe it or not, we collect fats. When I found out about this fact, I was shocked because I didn't think it was real.
Right.
But it is scientifically backed supported. And then you will collect fats like men to men, they'll collect fat on their stomach, and women they collect fat on the thigh and hip.
Not fair. It's not fair.
Well, that's how the body.
Okay.
So the not eating is not really good for you. And if you continuously doing that, your body goes into that mode of collecting fat continually. We call it fat storage mode, and it'll keep on collecting. And then this, I know a few people, they're not eating very much and they don't eat on a regular time, and they're still telling me, why am I not losing weight? Right. So all those little things that you eat, your body will collect the fat and then it'll store it in those portions. Somewhere.
Unwanted spots.
Unwanted spot, yeah. And then if you start feeling, if you're doing that because not eating, your mind's not controlling, and then you start feeling lethargies, and then that could create to mild depression also. Okay. Right. So that's it's not a very, very safe and helpful thing to do.
Okay.
So what do we do then? Right? So what we need to do is that we need to reset our body, right? Reset our body to the wisdom to eat whenever you feel truly hungry.
Okay. So where's the reset button?
Well, I'm going to get into that. So what I want everybody to do is actually what I told my client to do is to trust your unconscious mind, right? And listen to your body. Because all these naturally thin people, that's what they do. They listen to their body and they eat what they need to eat.
Okay.
Want to eat. So I'm going to go through this, what I call hunger scale, right? There's a 10 of them that step by step from the physically fainted because you're so hungry to like you're totally like nauseous because you are too much, you consume too much food in your body. So let me go through that real quick. The physically fainted is the lowest, and then extremely hungry, and then fairly hungry, and slightly hungry, and then there's a neutral in between. And then you're pleasantly satisfied, and then you feel full, and then you feel stuffed, and you feel bloated, and then you feel nauseous. So those are the steps, right? Okay. So what I recommend my client to do is just start, to know when you need to eat, listen to your body, and when you feel fairly hungry, or before you become extremely hungry, that's when you eat. Right?
Easy to say.
Well, you have to be focused. You have to. This is a work.
If you want to lose weight.
This is a committed event.
Right,
you got to commit it, and you got to be really desire, and you got to have a really strong why.
Yeah.
So you got to be focused every day.
I'm going to wear my bikini this year.
That's it. That's it. So this rule has to be really embedded in your mind, and you have to remind yourself all the time. So follow that. So number 2 is eat what you want, not what you think you should. Isn't that nice? You could eat whatever you want and lose weight.
I agree to that. Right.
So
Okay.
I mean, the pregnant. I mean, there's a few cases that I study about. I mean, I think like in 1930s, the scientists they had this study about toddlers, and they put them all together, and 24/7 they give them access to food from like ice cream to like spinach.
Okay.
And they said they didn't give them an instruction. They said just go right ahead and indulge yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And the funniest thing is that at the end of the 30 days, they found out they figure out to have a balanced meal. So, I mean, things like that, and also the like pregnant woman, they sometimes crave for kind of funny things,
Right.
right? And they had to have it, right? It's
Yeah.
not because they are. Even though sometimes the food doesn't look very healthy, but they take it in because it is needed to build the baby,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Baby wanted it.
Baby wanted
Oh.
it. Yeah. So those kind of things. So you have to be open-minded, trust your body, and just eat whatever you want to eat. Now the question is, I mean, is that really good? I mean, what if we're sometimes people talking about like you having a Twinkie with a Diet Coke, right? Does that work?
Fried Twinkie.
Yeah. But you never know. Maybe you need some fat in your body if your body crave for it, right? I'm not talking about over obesity, like binge eating or anything like that. That's going to create obesity. It's just that when your body, crave for it and you're fairly hungry, go ahead and eat, right? So there's the next question to that. I mean, you can eat, but I want you to enjoy. Rule number 3 is to eat consciously and enjoy every mouthful. Meaning eat slow, really slow. There's a study.
꼭 씹어라. So chew well.
Chew well. Take time. Feel the food. Feel the taste, the textures. Take your time to savor the food, right? Do not just... The funny thing is that the overweight people, they think about food all the time. But when they get to the time to eat food, they just shovel the food inside their mouth.
Oh, okay.
They have no feeling of like, until they get some kind of like satisfied feeling, right? And there's a scientific story about that, is that when you do that, because they're fulfilling their emotional mind, you get this pleasure, happy chemical called serotonin.
Okay.
Right? So that builds into it. That's why you're getting serotonin high and they keep just shoveling the food inside, right? So take your time. Take your time. There's a story about this young lady who went to this health resort, helping her to lose weight. That was her sole purpose for her to go there. And then she paid $2,000 a day.
Oh.
And she came out very successfully.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it was somewhere in Far East, the story is. And she actually did lose a lot of weight because what they do is they have somebody sitting in front of her every meal, remind her every moment to eat slow. To eat slow.
That's the way.
Yeah, yeah. And actually, they did another research on that. They blindfold the guy and have him eat the food, and they realize that he's eating 25% less because he's eating and enjoying the meal.
Okay.
Right.
Let's enjoy the meal,
Enjoy
guys.
the meal. Slow down. Yeah. So things like that. So that's a number 3. And number 4 is when you think you're full, stop eating.
Okay.
Stop eating.
Okay.
So quickly, I'll give you a sign. So remember, when you are eating and you feel full, your body will tell you. Remember I told you, listen to your body? Your body will tell you. You're going to feel that warm feeling on your solar plex.
Okay.
Solar plex is like between the rib and right above the stomach. Right? You're going to feel that fulfilled feeling right there. That's when you stop. Yeah. Okay. Or if you miss that feeling, if you when your food starting to like not tasting good, like not.
It tastes always good. Always.
Well, if you pay attention, you feel the numbness of the taste as you are eating, and when that point comes to that point, that's when you kind of stop knowing that you are full.
Okay.
Right. So again, let's go back to our the hunger scale. Right. So when it comes to knowing enough is enough, right? So when you feel pleasantly satisfied and full, but not yet stuffed and bloated, that's when you stop.
Okay.
Yeah. Those 4 rules. And if you like commit it to yourself and be focused and clarify what these 4 rules are, follow that, you'll be successful.
So how much did your client you mentioned earlier lose weight?
6 weeks, he lost 25 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, and he successfully had a photo shot, and they were happy. So they send me more clients.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, it's a good result, and it just it's a lot of weight to lose for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Wow, he's really committed.
He's 6 weeks, 25 pounds, and he's starting to show a little bit of. He says 6-pack, but yeah, But 25 pounds is quite a bit.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
All right.
And I was very happy.
All right. All right. Every Thursday we have a Power of Mind with Edward Hong, a self-development expert. And you're listening to We Korea. We will be right back. Okay, we're back. You're listening to We Korea. Every Thursday, we have Power of Mind with Edward Hong, who is a self-development expert. All right, Edward, so you help a lot of different clients, and you say you're going to introduce some reference books. It will also help us to achieve that goal, right?
Yes. Yes.
All right. So what kind of a book you're going to introduce?
Today, I want to introduce a book that actually one of my very favorites. And I utilize this book many, many times and gave it to many, many of my clients to start in the initial stage of coaching.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like a really fundamental but very powerful and very enjoyable book. And this book is called The 4 Agreements.
4 Agreements. Okay. What is this book about?
It was written by Don Miguel Luis, and he's a surgeon. And after he had a near fatal car accident, he actually went back to study the way of living. And this book has sold 7.2 million copies.
Wow!
Last time I saw.
Okay.
Yeah, it's utilizing many personal development industries and trainings and so on. And I specialize dealing with this book and also going through and brainstorming this book with my clients also because there's a lot of deep meaning into it. It's a really simple book. There's only 4 agreements, but there's a deep, deep, deep sense into it. And it's like a powerful code of conduct. They will transform your life, and it's coming from Toltec, the ancient indigenous people from Mexico.
Okay.
And the Don Miguel Luis says, I love this quote. He says, "Our biggest fear is not dying, it's being ourselves."
That's true.
Yeah, expressing ourselves. And, that also relates to one of the 5 regrets of dying that I also read a book about. And the number 1 regret is that I wish I live my life in my terms other than what the people expect of me. Right? So it's a very powerful book. And so let me just go through it real quick. Number 1 is be impeccable in your words, with your words. Now, the impeccable means in Latin without sin, meaning that you are only meant to say what you want to say and don't use words to speak ill of yours or others, and be having an integrity of what you're saying. So I'm just going to go live with that because I know I want you to enjoy a book when you're reading and find out a lot of other stuff. So, get into a habit of saying only what you mean and meaning only what you say. And when in doubt, say nothing. Right? And that's a powerful word. And then number 2 is don't take anything personally. Right? Because the words and actions of others are the product of their own elusive realities. It's not anything to do with you. Right? So don't let your life prevent a hindrance of what you want to do because what other people are telling you. Right? And one of the 4 rules from Arnold Schwarzenegger to being successful is that he says, do not listen to the naysayers.
Oh,
right?
All right.
So number 3 is don't make assumptions. Do not make assumptions because you don't know what other people's coming from, what they're thinking. They might have just throw you something because they throw in the words they throw it to you just because whatever they feel that moment. Do not let that, damage your core mind or whatever you wanted to do or whatever you wanted to have and be. All right. So the violence of one-sided expectation is a major source of misunderstanding and suffering of all level of our life. So do not make assumptions. And then number 4, the final is always do your best. Always do the best, very best you can, and live with a maximum possible excellence of any kind in each moment of your life. And I want to give you a little hint that if you buy audiobook of this book, at the end of the book, there is a visual meditation that kind of sums up the whole life of this powerful messages.
Yeah, audiobook would be good too because if you have some driving with the traffic or some long time driving, go to different cities or something, audiobook always helps.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be good.
If you follow and committed to follow any one of these agreements, your life will have a change. In my office, I copied it, printed, framed it, and put it on my wall.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And you do have a hardcover book and also audiobook.
Yes. So everybody comes in my office. That's the environment that I'm creating to be expected to have that.
Okay. Well, I mean, it is important, it's power of mind because you live only once.
Yes.
Yeah, you're going to live your life better, always better than worse.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Edward Shi.
You're welcome.
Every Thursday, we do have a Power of Mind. I'm going to put it on our social media page. What is this book about? And then probably link to this book and then maybe Amazon link or something like that so people could kind of easily find it. Because I looked it up and there's so many different versions of it. And there's a hardcover and an audiobook and there's a mini book and there's all this different version of it. So I'll ask Edward and then I find the best version of it and I'll put it on our social media. So stay tuned and then just always connect with us through social media. And again, if you have any questions about anything about life, he is not just a one coach, he's a life coach. So you could ask him through the email. What is your email?
Edward, EDWARD, HONG, 15 @gmail.com.
All right. That also, I'm going to put it up on the social media page so people could ask questions to you. Thank you so much, Edward Shi.
Thank you so much.
I'm going to see you next Thursday.
Have a powerful day.
All right. Thank you.